You are now listening to Just Sex Talk. Now let's get to talking.
All right, so I got some random topics. We got around about 15, 20 minutes or so. I got some random topics. Let's see, that I just randomly pull up out of my archives. Let's red flags versus green flags when meeting other people. What would you think were some red flags? Like, hey, I just kind of randomly meet somebody, and then we're talking to them, and then I'm like, damn, that's a red flag. Or,
well, for me, if you're meeting someone that's new into this, has a lot of uncertainties about it, right? I just love sitting down and they want to have this conversation, and you start talking and they start over talking you, and it's kind of like, well, why are you even asking me all these questions if you already have it figured out? So a lot of times when someone's over talking me, that's a big red flag that I catch on to with dealing with people about the lifestyle. Sometimes just the way they talk, their perception on things. Some people get carried away with what they think this life is that we live. They just want to. Some of the guys just want to, in their mind, jump in and have sex with everybody. It's a number game. So I listen to things, and some people, hey, that's for them, but for me, it's not. Like she was telling you, I'm more into the connections of talking, sharing experiences with people. For people to take whatever I say as experiences that I may share with conversations with y'all to someone. I'm not dropping names. I'm just saying, well, hey, I heard this, or this is what happened. And if they take it, that's good. But a red flag for me is like when they know all the answers, they already know where they're at with it. Well, then, why are you even bothering with me? People, well, why'd you get into this? Well, I caught my partner cheating on me. That's very common.
Mm-hmm. Incredibly common.
Yeah. And that's a red flag. Well, at that point, I'm just kind of like, I really be honest with you, I don't waste any more of my energy or time in the conversation. I just kind of sit back and let them talk, because at this point, I really don't. That's something I'm like, y'all have a long journey ahead of y'all to figure out things, because that's where you're still gonna have insecurities and jealousy. That's just too much.
Worse.
Yeah, and you're not in it because you're interested. You're
right.
in it because you're almost
The
forced.
lifestyle
You're almost
is
forced to
not
be in
to
it,
fix
kind
your
of thing.
marriage.
Absolutely,
it is not. If you have issues in your marriage and you think the lifestyle is gonna fix it, sweetie, it's gonna fuck it up. Just get a divorce now and. Then move on.
That's
actually, so a lot of people, oh, that's a new couple, and they pounce on these new couples a lot. For us, we'll be your friends, but we're gonna wait and see how you interact for a while, and then before we. But
that's
and,
me.
and
1000%.
likewise, anytime someone says, "Hey, we're here to put a spark in our marriage," or we're here to, if you got good communication, if you got a good life already, the lifestyle is not going to fuck up your marriage. But if you're here trying to fix one of those things,
it's not going to work.
It will destroy your marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, and you catch on talking to a couple where one's 100 miles an hour and the other one is 10 miles an hour. And, well, I'm only doing it because they want me to do it. They want, so that's some things where I steer away, because you can catch on that person that's going 100 miles an hour. They kind of forcing this and shoving it down their partner's throat, whether it be a man or female, because I've seen it both ways.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I also like the people that want to tell you how good looking their spouse is constantly. I'm like, are you trying to convince me or yourself? What are we doing here?
Right.
Or guys that say, I can do this better than your husband. If you come up to me
that
and
is
say,
the worst line.
I can eat you out better than your old man, you can also go fuck yourself, because I'm going to go fuck him.
Yeah.
So you can go
I'll
ahead
make
and
you
go.
come harder than he ever
I'd be a
has.
good asset to your events. How's that?
Say that again.
I would be a good asset to your events. Like a guy, I have a lot of single guys. Well, I'm not like most single guys. Man, I never met you. You live 2 states over. What makes you think? Like that's definitely a red. That's that ego side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it. We always say that. It's like if we have an encounter with somebody, we want it to be mutually beneficial. We want everybody to have fun, everybody to get off. When people are like feeling like they're there and they're going to provide you something that you've never been able to encounter before, which they may, but if they come that attitude, forget it. We're done. Like appreciate each other, appreciate the moment.
For you.
Definitely the newbie thing, and not necessarily a red flag, but just like Chris said, like there's, you know, like I want to see how you're interacting.
It's more like a yellow caution.
Yeah, it's definitely that's a great way to say it. Yeah.
If I see I people watch like a motherfucker. So if I see a guy like telling his wife, like from Bird's Eye, right? Telling his wife, hey, go talk to her. Go there and talk to her. I'm like, that sucks. And then if they come up and talk to us, I'm like, I saw you a minute ago, but you're pushing. I don't know, you're not pushing her off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've watched that. You know, guys sending their wives or their partner into the dance floor because they've already spotted someone, and they're sending their wife, and they're like, "Hey, go in." And I've seen that many a time, and not just at my parties. I mean, I've seen that at other parties where on the dance floor you watch. They're around the dance floor and they're looking for who they're going to send in for their wives to start dancing on. You know.
Well, I think sometimes that can be to an extent, that can be like, don't yuck somebody else's yum. Like maybe their dynamic works in a way where they're not pawning off.
Like if a wife or a couple are talking, like, hey, you think about the people? And they're like, yeah, cool. And then she gets up and goes. But it's one thing like, hey, no, go. And they're pointing. You know what I mean?
So, so what you said a while ago, don't do something to somebody that you wouldn't. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily agree with that because don't do things you would want to be done to you either because just because you like it doesn't mean they're not gonna like. They're gonna like it.
That's where the communication,
right? Exactly.
And boundaries.
I'm just saying, as a rule, you can't use that as a broad brush statement. But
I can, in my own perspective. You might use it differently.
Well, I'm saying, like, if you're saying I'm only gonna do things to somebody that I would like.
Positive.
Just because you like it doesn't mean you better check because they may not like it.
And that's where the communication.
Yeah, the communication. You have to be
with how much you trust that other person. Say I want to be spanked, but say my husband's not into doing that and the other person that I'm with is, I have to have enough trust in that other person to make sure that other person isn't going to go over my boundary and do something that, I really didn't like that. So it all depends on that.
But what I tell a new person all the time, I was like, listen, you're going to have all these people telling you how to act and what things you should or shouldn't be doing. Call them.
Yep.
All that really matters is between you and your spouse wanting to do. And everybody else, what they're going to tell you, including me, don't listen. I mean, if you want to listen to what I have to say, you can, but don't take that as the gospel because the way I like to operate is not the way everybody else likes to operate. I have a really good friend that used to help us with the club a lot, and he used to be around a lot. And we were sitting at a table talking to this new couple, and he went on for like 10 minutes, like, hey, y'all, so this is how you operate. This is what you do. Yeah. This is and eventually I said, just so you know, I don't agree with one word that he has just muttered out of his mouth today. I like, so do what you want to. And we have these little social groups that pop up on, the social group, like Facebooks and places like that. And there's always a new group. And those admins think that they're the best thing. Yeah. And I've seen people do, we're going to have a town hall meeting and all this stuff, talking about how you should be hit. I'm like, quit trying to tell people what they should do. You can tell people what you've seen offend people if you want to, like, hey, I'm going to be careful about that. But there's a lot of people behave in a certain way because they've gotten positive responses to that behavior in the past. Yeah. So just because you may not like it, there's probably 10 people out there that will like it. So I just let people be themselves.
And you do have a valid point. And I've learned in the lifestyle from where the club that I used to go to where I am now, there's a lot of things that you need to end up making the lifestyle. It's what you make of it.
Exactly.
It's the friends that you meet along the way. How you conduct yourself goes a long way.
And people tend to gravitate towards the people that feel similar ways. And so, like I said, when I see somebody doing something that's off-putting to me, I don't take it as a personal affront. It's like, I hope they find somebody that
maybe
their
dynamic's not working with me, but it'll work with somebody.
And like, to what he said, I've seen, like, I know a couple who, like, their kink is he likes to tell his wife, hey, go do this, and the other women would see him doing that, and like, he's like. But I had a conversation with her about it, and she likes it. But the other women just can't wrap their head around that.
Yeah, because it could be a turnoff.
Yeah. To the other women, it was definitely a big turnoff in our little group. But to her,
It was a turn on.
It was a turn on for a couple of reasons. One, she kind of liked to be told what to do, and two, she liked doing it because she knew it was turning on her spouse.
So it was the dominant and sub.
So I mean, like,
type deal.
don't yuck somebody else's yum.
Yep.
Yum. What about green flags? What are some green flags?
I'm gonna go with spouses that just like they speak so positively about their partner.
Yeah, I agree with
like,
that.
I can have a conversation with you that's sexy and
Like
you're
my partner's the most
flirty,
beautiful woman ever.
and then you're like, man, like, yeah, like Christy would look amazing in that dress. Like you look amazing in that dress, but Christy would like also
a partner that
You know,
Wow,
hypes
you
up
would look
their own
amazing in
partner.
my husband's.
I mean, because you get the couples, but you get the couples that are like, you look amazing in that dress. Like, I just want to da-da-da-da. And they just never, it's like their partner doesn't exist. And then it's awkward. Like, she does exist. So, I mean, let's just not acknowledge when that non-acknowledgement or... I mean, it gets worse. They also, to an extent. Yeah, don't go overboard with it either.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to know
every If
detail.
I'm here trying to spend time with him, and the only thing I'm talking about is how me and my old man, well, he might not be interested in knowing how me and Michael can hit it at home. Like,
yeah.
He might be like, I just want to know how I'm going to hit that tonight. Like, I mean...
Yeah, I don't think I want to know about how everybody else is hitting it ever. I just mean like, throw it in there. So,
don't pretend that you're not.
But some people do this whole like just not talking, or even worse, they
don't acknowledge
talk
that
great about their partner.
Yeah,
they're like, oh man, I'm so glad you did that. Like
my wife would never. Yeah, that's.
And I'm like, no, we're not going to talk negative.
Yeah.
Like, when the negative talk comes in. But I don't like the non-acknowledgement either.
Like, I do want you to acknowledge
hype
my
up your partner with me. I want to know how great your relationship is.
And there's somebody for everyone, that saying is said and it's true. But, if the person you're into, if your person is maybe not what would be traditional beauty, and when you have somebody like that, it's kind of like when you compliment somebody, they say, never give somebody a compliment that's not true.
Yeah.
Don't say, oh, your hair looks lovely today without looking at their hair.
Yeah.
Because it's like when someone has got the non-traditional looking person and they're going on and on about how beautiful they are, or how good looking they are, or how awesome it's like, that's what it's what I was saying a while ago. It's like, are you convincing me they're good looking, or are they convincing yourself? Because it sounds like right now you're trying to convince yourself, because I've already made up my mind. I know what I think is attractive. Yeah. And so I think maybe not like when they're building up their spouse, but I definitely, it's a big turn off when they're tearing down their spouse.
That is,
that is. I know you said green flag, but that is definitely a red flag. When they say, "Oh, my person used to do this, but they don't do it anymore." They did I don't want to hear you talking negative about your person at all, because you're trying to convince me to interact with you. You know?
So like green flags for me, I can just sense a couple's energy, and if it just feels like, hey, they're actually, they're here together, they're actually in it together, and then I can sense the energy of when like it's usually the husband, but one of them is just like, hey, I'm just here for me, basically. Mm-hmm. So that kind of,
I agree.
Yeah, you just kind of feel that.
I think you can definitely feel it whenever it's forced on one person's side.
Especially just with conversation, you can pick up on it.
Like they're just like the quiet.
I like the term equally yoked. Like if people are pulling at the same speed, but if one person's trying to push in, the other person's getting drug along, that's not attractive.
But it's like she's, you mentioned a minute ago, if they're both going, and you see that dynamic, and you see that they have the love and the passion, and they're just here to maybe add a little bit. I think to me that's awesome.
I'm waving it.
Yep, I will. I will even go and hype them up. Like y'all are amazing. Like I love it.
Yeah, like, you see the couples that are kind of rooting each other on.
Yes.
And, yeah, but that's kind of cool.
And then if they're here like at a door date, oh, we're just kind of mad, we're just here together. I'm like, oh, that's a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I sit at Chris's table at Eden whenever we come, like pretty often, and I'll, go do a lap, because, sometimes you go do a lap and you run into like this new couple that's radiating that. I'm like, come back.
Yeah.
Come back to Chris's table. Like, let me introduce you to my people because y'all, like, the vibe is there. You know, the green flags are wagging. You know, it doesn't always work out, but when that energy is there, I'm like, come meet my people. Like, for sure.
That's actually, I feel like I miss out on a lot of opportunities like that because like people start talking to me. I'm like, oh, hey, come over here and meet this person. And then I'm like, well, maybe they wanted to talk to me. I don't know.
Chris is hooking us up. I try, I try to return the favor. But
our floor manager here at the club is the absolute best at that. He will find somebody new and he will know.
No, he's down in love now.
Huh?
He's off the market now.
No, I'm talking about as far as he'll meet you if you're new here.
But he still reads people well.
And he's like, oh, you're gonna get along great with these people. He'll march them over like, hey, these people are new. And he's right on it way more than he's wrong. He's a good at it. Yeah.
Just Sex Talk is fueled by the haters and recorded live at the Lifestyle Nation studio in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. We hope you enjoyed the show. If not, then this show just isn't for you, and no hard feelings. To experience more shows, go to JustSexTalk.com. And to contact the show, send an email to JustSexTalkPodcast@gmail.com.